Brands Hatch Circuit in Kent. Originally used as a grass track. Sorry, I'll start that again. You can hear that over my laptop. Anyway, Brands Hatch Circuit in Kent. Really used as a grass track motorcycle circuit. It's hosted Grand Prix running between 1964 and 1986. Currently hosts many British and international racing events. Brands Hatch also has two layouts. The GP circuit, which we'll be heading to at the end of the season, and tonight's circuit, which is the Indy circuit, which is a shorter layout, about 1.198 miles long. I'm Greener Army 2009. I am your commentator for today, and let's hope we get some good action like we did last night in League 2. Back markers did play a part, quite a big part, in last night. It was, some people moved that away quickly, some people didn't, so it made for interesting racing. So at the moment we're just riding on with Scott. He's just warming up those tyres. We got Hamby in tonight, Mampster, Mike wasn't here last week. He is back this week though, which is good. It'll be interesting to see what he can do. We have Cody Pop. Offcut is just sat in the pit still. And we got Sparky LUFC. He was another person that didn't race last week, so we'll see what he can do in that white BMW. JC Hoop. We have Jack, and we have Scott Mini. Oh, we already talked about Scott. Scott's probably just doing his lap now. We seem to not have Stu, Disco Racing Stu tonight, and we don't seem to have Rathchild either. So Stu is actually the defending champion from last year, but he doesn't seem to be in tonight. Quickly run down the league table quickly for you. So Disco Racing Stu is leading at the moment on 37 points. Mampster is in second with Scott Mills in third on 28. Rathchild is fourth with 22 points. JC Hoop is fifth with 21 points. Offcut is sixth with 19 points. Hamby is seventh with 18 points. Jack H70 is in 8th with 17 points. 9th is Cody Pop with 16 points, and we got Sparky and Mike in joint 10th place because they didn't race last week. So let's see who's topping the times at the moment. So Cody at the moment is topping the times with a 47.095, and that might be a bit biased because of the green, but I actually do quite like that green BMW. So, and then second place is JC Hop. Let's jump on board. Oh, Jack's just gone through to second. It's just getting past. This Scott. I was watching Scott in practice, and he was doing rather well. There's a bit of lag going on. I hope that is just means the servers ain't gonna go down. Let's hope. Let's go on board with Scott. Let's do the roof cam. So we've just missed the first part of the lap, so we'll let him go around again. It's not going to take long. It's around about the 37.7-second mark to actually get around this track. That's why the back markers do play a bit in this. Oh, I think that lag might have been because I think Disco Racing Stu has actually got in. I think he's the added one that's just come on. Anyway, right, let's ride with Scott. So he's just kind of coming down to Paddock Hill Bend. Bit of a tricky corner. It dips away from you. It's quite steep as well if you've ever been to Brands Hatch. So he now is coming up to Druids. First, oh, he's gone wide. That could have been a bit of a lag actually, because I think someone else has just come into the lobby. He's slowed down a bit now. Anyway, we're going around Graham Hill Bend now, back onto the Cooper Straight. Yeah, he slowed down quite a bit. Not too sure why. Hopefully he's just waiting to get a bit of space. Anyway, so he's now coming up to 30s through McLean's, which then leads on to Clearways, and then back onto the Brabham Straight to complete a lap. So that's the lap of Brands Hatch. I'm glad, I don't know if Stuart was listening, but I'm glad he slowed down a bit. It made my life a lot easier. So I think we've actually got all 11 people in now. I do believe that's Disco Racing Stu is there now. There he is. And I think Rathchild got in as well. So we've got 8 minutes remaining, and we got all 11 cars this week, which is good. So Cody is just coming into the pits. He's still there on a 47.95. Jack is just sat in the pits now. JC is still on track. He is in third with a 47.411. Scott is sat in the pits. Mampster, who is in second place in the league, he had a win last week in round 1 and third in round 2. He's sitting there at the moment in 4th. Sparky's in 6th. It's a good run out from Sparky. Disco Racing Stew, he's down in 7th at the moment, but I don't think that's, I don't know, I don't think that's where he's going to end up. Mike is there in 8th. Hamby swings into that corner there at some pace. Is 9th. Rathchild just put a time in 54.5. I'm sure we'll probably see a bit more of that. He's 4th in the league at the moment, and a 4th in round 1 and a 7th in round 2. And Offcut has not put a time in yet. You want to get out there, boy. You want to get going. As you can see, everyone is actually covered. And we got Rathchild is there. He's just coming around again. Is he going to improve his time? I would imagine he probably would. Anyone listening on the stream, can you just let me know if the sound's okay? I've been having a bit of problems lately. It was okay last night, but I'm not too sure tonight. So yeah, Rathchild's there with a 49.351. So he's actually 2 seconds off the pace at the moment. So from 1st to 9th, we are covered by less than a second. So Cody is still there in that BMW, still on provisional pole with 6 minutes to go. It's going to be close race tonight. Everyone is pushing themselves. Find that the times are probably close because most people have raced Brands Hatch. They probably know it like the back of their hands. It's one of the probably the most favourable tracks on Project Cars 2, but I'm sure that everyone knows all the bumps and how far they can push the cars around the track. So as I said, Cody's there. Scott is just going round Graham Hill Bend. He's still there in 4th. Cheers everyone, thank you. Thanks Carl. Yeah, can hear me, cool, that's brilliant. Yeah, Disco Race Stew's in 5th. Don't think he's got the car hooked up as he's probably liked at the moment, but he's just swinging it around. And Offcut is still in the pits, and he still hasn't gone onto track at the moment. Not too sure. I don't think there was any penalty saying that no one could qualify after last week, but he's just sat in the pits. Maybe he's going to do 2 laps dash and hopefully grab pole. Who knows? Keep an eye on that though. I said Rothschild is still there in that Mercedes. He's getting closer. He's getting closer to Hamby. That's yeah, that's Sparky just got on the grass. Mike's there in 9th. So it's all quite close. We got about 4 minutes to go, which means yeah, I'll probably get 5 laps in, possibly 6 if you stay out. And JC's just coming out of the pits. That looks a bit battered. I don't know if he's hit something. Disco Racing Stu, that's going down Paddock Hill sideways. Saved it well, and I think he's just doing a bit of drifting now. Yeah, that's not going to improve your tyre. Oh no, he's just warming up the tyres. He must have just come out the pits. Well, I hope that's what he's doing. I don't know if he's planning to get a job on a Fast and the Furious game or film. You never know. Anyway, so Disco Racing Shoes just coming to go up through McLean's and Clearways. I know he's moved out the way, possibly to get a bit of clean air, possibly not. His tyres are going to be dirty now, which won't be great. Well, let's see what he does. The lights are ablaze. He's flashing. Hopefully he's going to tell everyone that he's on a quick lap, possibly. And he's sideways again, down through Paddock. Coming up to Haywood Hill, into Druids. What's he going to do this time? Is he going to swing that back end out? No, it's a bit neater that time. Coming down to Graham Hill Bend, still lights ablaze. I'm not too sure who that is in front of him. I think that might be Hanby in front of him, yeah. So hopefully Hanby will see that and move out of his way, because Stu is on a charge. Coming up through Clearways now. Clark Curve, and he's crossed his line. Does he improve his time? That is the question. No, he's still 4th. He is still 4th. So 2 minutes remaining. We've got Cody still on provisional pole. Jack is just coming out of the pits. No, he's just coming into the pits, sorry. JC is in 3rd. Disco Racing Stu is in 4th. Sparky there in 5th. Scott again. Scott has taken Stu's line there, sideways round Paddock. May not be the fastest route round, but if it works, it works. Mampster there in 7th. Mike in 8th. Hamby in 9th. Rothschild in 10th, and Offcut is still there in the pits in 11th, not putting in a time. I'm not 100% too sure. He's only got a minute 10 left. It's not going to be good. I think everyone else is out on track, so the track's going to be busy now with 10 cars out there. Because Offcut's in the pits. Cody there we're just looking at, and Jack is just coming around. Looks so slow on the stream, but he is, trust me, he's got his foot down. So Jack is there in 2nd. JC is somewhere. Oh, the camera couldn't pick him up quick enough. Stu's come across the line again, still hasn't managed to break the top 3. Is on the 2nd row of the grid. Ooh, gone a bit wide there. He was lucky not to get sucked into the gravel trap. Sparky's having another spin. Scott's still there. Looks like he has been pushed by something, or he's gone into something. He's got a bit dented in there. Mampster is sat there in 7th. Let's see if we can get that BMW off the line quick. It's not a BMW. Is he in a BMW? No. Oh yeah, Mike. That's Mike I'm looking at. Mampster is in a BMW. Oh, he's got no lid. So that is qualifying over. It's Cody. So at the moment, Cody's on provisional pole. Jack can't do. Anyone else on a flying lap? I don't think they are. Oh, Scott might be. So can Scott improve his time? Can he break through? No, he stays 6. Mampster's in the pits. Max finished. Rathchild is gone wide. So that won't improve his time. And unfortunately, Offcut is still in. Just didn't put a time in. Which is interesting. Anyway, so there's your grid for race 1. Remember, race 2, so we've got 25 laps, I do believe, for the first race. And then the mixed up grid race is 12s. I'll just take a swig of my drink. So there we go. They're all on the line waiting to go. Waiting for those red lights to come on. And Cody's BMW should get off the line pretty well. But Jack is quite close. As you can see. Just waiting for everyone to lobby up. Offcut at the back. Don't know why I don't. Here we go. And they get away. That is a great start by JC, I think, and also a great start by Cody. Is down into third at the moment, going down into the bend. All keep it clean, boys. Let's get through. 11 through, yeah. Looks like everyone's got through. So at the moment we have JC Hop in first with Jack in second. Oh, there's been a bit of a melee at the back. Who was that? Mampster. Mampster got tangled up, I think, with Hamby. Yeah, so don't actually know what happened there. JC is just on his way. Battle for second is hotting up between Jack and Disco Racing Stew. Sparky's up there in fourth. Rathchild is now in fifth, with Mike up in sixth. Offcut has gone from the back of the grid on and up to 7th in the first lap. Scott has moved down to 8th. He likes taking that corner. That's a bit risky there, Scott. Might get stuck into that gravel. Mampster is in 9th. Hamby is in 10th. And Cody is gone right down to the back. So our pole sitter has obviously hit something really hard, looking at the state of the front of his BMW there, but yes, that BMW's gone a bit shorter. So let's move back to the top. So there's JC. He is leading at this moment. Stu's got his lights ablaze behind him there in that orange. Merc, I do believe. The Merc and the Opel looks exactly the same to me. Just my eyesight, I'm trying to catch hold of the bag. But anyway, I know that's the Merc in front. That is the Mercedes of JC Hop. Just coming up now to Surtees, McLean and Clearways. 3 corners are next. And he's just holding his own at the moment. Oh, Jack has got a beautiful run coming out of there, coming down onto the Brabham straight. Has he got enough momentum to take him down the inside? Is he going to have a look? No. He's going to just sit back, see what JC does. He's just dropped back slightly. Disco Racing Stew's hoping that the 2 in front are going to make some mistakes, but at this moment in time it doesn't look like it. How are we doing further back? So there's Sparky having a good run there on lap 4 in that BMW, and then we got Mike, sorry. And Scott has just lost it. Oh, there was nowhere to go. Raf and Scott had a bit of a tangle. There was nowhere to go. Raf just could not get anywhere, couldn't get out of his way. Scott was nearly flipped over. He just caught it a bit too wrong. But well controlled. Unfortunately for Raf, he just could not. There was nowhere for him to go. But I'm sure he'll be coming up through the grid. There is Hanby there with Cody there. But let's go back to the Scott. This is the battle now for 7th place with Scott, Offcut and Raf. Rathchild is looking quite racy at this moment. 5 laps in. Or as I say that, he's gone to that corner a little bit too much. It gives Scott a little bit of breathing space for that. And I've just realised that Jack is now in the lead with Disco Racing Stew in second. So what happened to JC? I must have missed that completely when I was looking at the Scott battle. So we have a new leader at the moment on lap 6, which is Jack H70. Disco Racing Stew is in second, with JC now back in third. Mike is now up into 5th. It's a brilliant showing by. Since he's missed around last week, he needs to get as many points as he can. Mampster is in 5th now, with Scott in 6th, Rathchild 7th, and Offcut in 8th. Sparky has dropped down to the back, with Cody Pops obviously just overtook him. So on lap 7, Jack, these three have pulled quite a big gap up. Mike is 4 seconds behind the leader. JC is a second. Disco Racing Stew's just going to sit there, I think, just to keep his mind clear, make things nice and smooth. But he is under pressure from JC. JC has obviously made a mistake somewhere. I didn't see it, but he is now desperately wanting to get past Stu, and then have another go at Jack. So we are on lap 8 at the moment in time. Oh, JC got past Stu. Did Stu make a mistake? I missed it again. I've just realised it. Yeah, a bit of a flashing of the lights there. I think that was well played, not rather than get out my way. So JC is back. So this is the battle at the moment we want to keep an eye on, as JC's gone wide, which gives Disco Racing Stew that inside line, but JC just cuts it off. It's going to send Stew around the outside. No, he's not. Is he? Stew going to get the undercut? Oh, JC's gone wide. Gives Stew a better run up the hill into Druids. No, not close enough at the moment. He's coming down the Paddock Hill. Is he going to have a look? Not Paddock, Graham Hill Bend. Is he going to have a look? No. JC keeps it tidy. With all this going on, it means Jack's pulled away a little bit. But this is where we want to focus on at the moment, guys, is just this here. There was a bit of cut the corner too much there, and you are going to lose out on speed. But Stu is battling hard. He definitely wants that place back. Obviously made a silly mistake somewhere, and he just battling really hard. Stu and JC. Let's just quick. Oh, there's a battle here. Is that Mike and Mampster having a tussle now as they go into Druids? Is Mampster gonna have a look? No. Mike's just shut the door. Just as he comes round now to Graham Hill Bend, is a little bit further back, hoping that Mike's going to go wide. I think Mampster was. No, but he's got a brilliant run out. Mampster's got a brilliant run out of there, coming into the complex of McLean's and Clearways, and then Clark Curve. Oh, he's gone a bit wide. That means Mampster's got the inside line now. come around Clark onto the Brabham straight, and I think he's got the job done before Paddock. I know. Yeah, Mapster is. Yeah, Mapster's got in front now. I would expect from that BMW power that Mapster would get away, but let's just go back up to the front a minute. So Jack, sorry, has got nearly a second lead. JC is still in front of Stu, who's just dropped off slightly. That's a bit of better line in there from Stu. Has he got, what kind of run has he got out of the corner this time? Normally has quite a good clear run. No, he's dropped back a little bit. He has dropped back a little bit. Let's go further on back. Mamps is just starting to pull away now from Mike. Scotty is having a bit of a lonely race there in 6th. There doesn't seem to be anything going on around him. Cody has moved up to 7th. Rathchild is there in 8th with Sparky there in 9th. Handball and Offcut is having a bit of a battle. Is Offcut got a run in the corner? It's all gone. Yes, Offcut has gone on the inside, but he has now on the outside of Graham Hill Bend. Handball just pushed him slightly wide, but Handball himself's just gone wide. So he's now got, Offcut's got the inside line for this one. He's made it stick. He's done it even before the corner that was there. So we're now going to go, let's quickly go back to the front to see what's happening with... Oh, Jack is now under pressure from JC, which in turn, I think Disco Racing Stu is probably just going to sit back a little bit just for a minute, just to make sure they don't make, if they have contact, it means he's going to pounce. So let's just keep an eye on this a minute, just to keep going. So there's Jack, and in a minute comes in shot will be JC. Both same machines, both same power, and not clear at the moment. Was the excitement. I've got a dry throat. I'm just going to take a bit of drink. Oh, as I said that, Jack went wide down Paddock, and he's just let JC go back through. Well, I thought Stu might have pounced, but I think he was a bit too far back. Just got to keep your legs now, the heads now, guys. They said last night, if anyone was watching the stream, some of these longer races, especially around the Indy track, some drivers can just lose a little bit of concentration, sort of between lap 10 and lap 20, lap 15. And I think there might have been a little bit of lack of concentration there by Jack, but he's still there in second place. And I'm sure he'll be hunt down JC again. Disco Racing Stu's just going to be waiting there to pounce if anything happens. Right, after that, I'm going to now just take a sip of drink. So we're here. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. Drink. I needed more drink than what I thought I did. Oh, it's follow my leader. Stu's going to take a advantage there. JC went off, followed by Jack, who decided to think they had a tow rope between them, which means Stu just said thank you very much and stayed on the track, on the black stuff, and got through. But Jack's having none of it. He's right behind, flashing his lights, trying to put Stu off, I think. Unless that was a... Oh, that was a quite close there. Well done for Jack to get on the brakes so he didn't run into the back. But let's see if Jack can actually get in any sort of stream of there. just don't want to take my eyes off this front three at the moment. They are pretty close. So Jack's there, right behind Stu. Does mean that Stu's under pressure, which again then gives JC a bit of breathing room. As you can see, he is nearly a second in front. Stu, and yeah, this is where Jack is faster. Stu tends to clip that corner a bit too much, going up into McLean's. Coming out of Surtees, he tends to clip that curb and then loses a bit of momentum, but he's still there at the moment. Just coming down paddock, up the hill into Druids. Yeah, Jack's just pulled off a bit. Let's just quickly go and see what's going on. Mampster seems to be on his own. Scott is having a bit of a lonely race himself as well. Cody's managed to move up to 6th now after a few laps ago being dead last, and I would imagine that he's hit something. Looking at the state of that BMW. Mike is now in 7th. Rathchild again, bit of a lonely race there in 8th now, with Sparky behind. Offcut has got in front of Hamby. Now Hamby is in 7th in the league. He had an 8th in round 1 and a 6th in race 2 last week. Don't know if this track is not suiting the BMWs very well. Oh, so there's JC again moving back to the front. This is lap 19 of 25, so after this lap we've got 5 to go. He's pulled out a just over a second gap to Stu. Stu there again, hitting that curb at Surtees, which throws him off a little bit. I think that's going to be the place if Jack can get close enough to actually punish Stu. But he's seemed to have dropped back off now. He's 2 seconds behind JC. Yeah, he's not 100% sure. He's dropped way off. I don't know if he's made another mistake somewhere. But JC is pulling out a bit of a gap now from Stu. It's all sort of calmed down a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, there's Hamby again. His bumpers flying off. His bonnet's all creased. He's been definitely in the wars in this race. Offcut is there now, just having a race by himself. You know, looking around at the crowd. I don't mean there's no crowd there. I think they've got the social distancing right with everything that's going on. There's Sparky there. Is he actually being... Oh, is he being just... I know, that's Rathchild in front of him. So I was going the wrong way. And there's Mike. I do believe he's probably... Yeah, he's on his own. Cody's there in 6th. Just trying to lick his wounds, I think, from whatever happened at the beginning of the race. Scott there is chasing down Mampster. Jack has dropped off from Disco Racing Stu. Not too sure what's happened. I don't know if Jack made another mistake, but they have spread out slightly. So it's lap 22 now of 25. It's been some quite good racing so far. Been quite close. It's just spread out a little bit now, as I say. Jack's just lost it coming down paddock. He did control it quite well. Mampster's keeping it nice and tidy. That BMW actually looks like it hasn't been hit once. I think that might be the only car that hasn't. Oh, Scott's got his lights on. He's going to try to chase down Mampster in the last few laps. Whether he will be able to or not. And then you got Cody with his, well, one headlight on by the looks of it, trying to chase down Scott. Let's go back to the front. So JC there. Oh, someone's moved right out the way. That must be Hamby. Just moved him right out the way. So black back markers are playing a part in this now. So Offcut will be the next one that the leaders will get up to, but there's a bit of a gap. Whether they'll catch him or not, because there's only Now this is lap 23. Only 2 to go after this one. Disco Racing Stew, I think, might just sit there now. Consolidate the second place. Still good points for him. He had a second in round 1 last week. Round 2 he had a first, so I'm sure if he can repeat that this week, I'm sure he'll be happy. Happy chappy in the morning. But this fellow, I think, might be even more happier. JC. He was 6th from 5th last week, so this is good, valuable points for him. Let's hope that he can just keep it on the black stuff for a lap and a half now. Comes down Graham Hill Bend. Runs a tad bit wide, not as much as she went, a little bit wider, and Jack went even wider still. It's this corner here, if we can just watch, that's probably a better line for Stu in there. I don't think he's going to make a challenge. I think looks like he's just sat there, going to be ready for take second place. Jack's just going to cross the line, so we're on lap 25 now. Scott, oh, he is. Scott is chasing Mampster. I don't think he's going to make it though. Honestly, don't think he's going to make it. Too many. No, not when he goes wide like that. Curse of the commentator again. Sorry, Scotty. There is JC coming round now then through McLean and Clearways. So the exit is Clearways onto Clark Curve and then onto the Brabham Straight, and there is your winner for round 3. It is JC Hop, followed by Disco Racing Stew. Jack is in 3rd. A bit of a way back now with Mampster just coming over in 4th. Scott was probably happy with the 5th there. Cody Pop would be really happy with 6th after being dead last. Mike on his first outing this season is in 7th. Again with Sparky, first outing is in 8th. Rathchild, after that bit of a hit with Scott, which he couldn't do nothing about, was in 9th. Offcut is in 10th. And Hamby rounds out the 11th. So that is your results for round 3. We're going to have race 2 now, so that'll be round 4. It's a mixed up grid, and I'm going to take some more fluid on because my throat is starting to be croaky up, and we'll wait to see what the grid will be like for race 2 of this evening, which will be round 4. Okay, I'm back. I think Scott is probably just sorting out the lobby, and he is up and he's ready to go. I'm guessing the racers can actually hear the commentary again through the headset. Had this problem last night, but I can't hear what they're saying because I've turned the volume down on my headset. But we'll see. So we're just going to wait for it. So Hamby is actually on pole for this one, with Rathchild in second, Disco Racing Stew in third, Mike is in fourth, Jack is in fifth, Scott is in sixth, Cody is in seventh, JC is in eighth, Sparky in ninth, Mampster in 10th, and Offcut in last again. So it's thrown it up a little bit differently. So we have a BMW on the first row of the grid, and we'll see what happens. So the guys keep it nice and tidy going into paddock, and we're set for 17 laps. Just waiting for everyone to lobby up and sync up, I think. We are still waiting. There's probably a couple that's not syncing up properly at the moment. Raf Hamby is just sat there. Oh, I think everyone's lobbied up now. And we are go. Green flag. Yeah, a bit of a wheel spin. That Cody has just shot straight through the pack there. He had an absolute fantastic start there, but Hamby managed to get off the line quite well. Disco Stew is being pushed by Cody now, coming into Druids. Yeah, Disco Racing Stew's there, but I think Cody might have just lost out to Rathchild. Cody's just gone a tad bit wide. Everyone is clean through, I think. Let's just have a look. I don't think there is any trouble. Everyone's got cleanly through the first three corners. Hamby is now under pressure, a lot of pressure from Stew. He just lost the back end, Hamby did, and I think Stew might have a run on him going out of Clark Curve onto the Brabham Straight. I think he's gonna, yeah, he's gonna take this into paddock unless Hamby just tries to keep him wide. Oh, Stew hit the curb quite hard there, which means Hamby's got a better run going up the hill. Stew blocks it off. Hamby is in second. He just don't want to go too wide there though, Hamby, because you'll get swallowed up by Rathchild. No, that's brilliant racing there by Stew. He did hit that curb quite hard coming into Druid Zone. I thought he was going to lose it and go straight off into the gravel. But Hamby is having a good show in here at the moment. He is gonna... Oh, Stew made a mistake there, and Hamby nearly got up on the inside of him. He did just slam on his brakes though, because I think he thought that Disco Racing Stew was going to go straight across, back across the track again. But let's have a look. Oh, yeah, Hamby was looking down the inside there. Stew has hit that curb again. He's managed to keep it on the black stuff though. It's quite good car control, because those curbs, when you hit them, if you hit them wrong, you're going to go straight off into that kitty litter. But there is a big pile of people behind him. There's Rathchild, followed by Cody, followed by Scott is in the mix there as well. Jake is going to be sucked into this in a minute. Let's go back up the front. Disco Racing Stew got yeah, he is still in front. Hamby's just slightly off now. He wasn't as visible, but look at this lot coming across the line. Cody and Rathchild side by side into the wall. That was lucky that Rathchild didn't hit the wall then, but Oh, and they both go off together. I don't think there was contact. I think one just lost it and the other one followed suit, and that just has now ruined both their races again. They're down there in the kitty litter, building sandcastles with them. That gives Scott a chance to move up to third to try to put some pressure now on to Hanby. 911. Stu's got his lights ablaze there. Again, he takes the same line really as Disco Racing Stu. He just nips that curb. Don't go out too wide there because Jack is ready to pounce on you, Scott. But Scott's still got his place. Yeah, Disco Racing Stu is now on lap 5. He is now just pushing away. He's just sliding that back end round. And Hanby is just probably giving Scott second place. And Jack is on Scott's tail. Unfortunately for Hanby, he is back down there in last now. He must have had another incident coming out, and he just couldn't get back on track. That's the problem. Get stuck in that gravel. Everyone's either going to go past you, come in and hit you, or you just cannot safely return to track. So there's Jack now. Disco Racing Stu's got 2 seconds over these two, battling for second. We've also got JC there now in 4th, who I think if Scott and Jack are going to battle with each other, I think JC's going to be in with a shout there too. So as we're there, let's go back to the front. Yeah, Stu is there. This is the battle we need to look at the moment. Scott is being reeled in by Jack. Yeah, I mean, I think Stu is running away from this, but this is helping him just because they're under so much pressure. Is Jack just coming round? Has he got a run on him? No, he's just going to slip behind. Imagine Scott will go defensive going into paddock. I think Jack is trying to undercut, but he did lose the back end there again. Again, he went slow. JC went a bit wide also. Oh, this is a battle now. Cody and Mike coming up. Careful as you go, Cody. Mike's just gone through. Don't think Cody's going to let that one go though. I think he's just going to keep on pushing a bit too much. Less contact, guys, less contact. The Disco Racing Stu is now 1.7 seconds in front, with Scott under a lot of pressure from Jack. Good clean racing from the boys at the front. Druid, Paddock Hill Bend is catching a lot of people out tonight. Just going that wide. JC is now coming around Druids. Down the hill to Graham Hill Bend. Cody is still battling with Mike. There's a bit of a battle going on for 7th here with Offcut, Mampster and Sparky. Sparky's going to be drawn into this if the other two start fighting too much. Rathchild is there now in 9th, and Hanby, who was leading at one point, back down to 11th. I think he just got stuck in the gravel trap at Paddock Hill Bend and just could not get there. So there we go. Stu is 1.4 seconds in front of Scott now. We just lost the camera then. Scott's still got his lights ablaze, hoping to, I don't know if he's there to put off, trying to put off Stu, but I don't think that's too far away to put him off for that. And Jack is right on the boot lid of Scott. JC is on his own, but Cody has managed to get past Mike now. I think Mike is going to try to just put his foot down a little bit now and just try to get back onto the tail of Cody. Mampster's there in 7th, Sparky there in 8th. They spread out a little bit now. Offcut in 9th. Rathchild with a beating up Mercedes there, and Hamby is in. Hamby, sorry, not Hamble. Hamby is in 11th. Stu still out in front, paving his way around. There's a bit of a gap formed now between Scott and Jack. Jack might have just got onto the gravel or a bit of the grass. There seems to be a little bit of a gap there between himself and Scott. And in turn, if they work together, they might be able to catch on the back end of Stu. I mean, the time has come down. It's now 1.1, where it was 1.4 to a lap or two ago. They come around Druids down to Graham Hill Bend. This one can also catch people out if they run too wide. They just get sucked out onto that grass. JC is now going to be under pressure from Cody, I think. Not the near too distant future. Mike has dropped off the back of Cody now. Mampster is about a second, I think, away from Mike. Sparky again is under a lot of pressure from Offcut. Offcut there in the Merc. So we've got BMW power versus Mercedes power. That'll be one to keep an eye on at the moment. Soon. Stu is still out in front. Scott is now back under pressure from Jack, and Scott's just gone wide, which means it might help Jack have a run up into Surtees. McLean's, here we go. There was a little bit of a bump there. He did the right thing there. He backed off. That's clean racing. Is he going to get a run off the Brabham straight down into Paddock Hill Bend, though? That is the thing. No, he's just dropped off a little bit further now. So Scott is now 1.4 again back behind Disco, but this is probably the battle we need to look at the moment for second and third spot. Again, just got to concentrate that little bit longer. 17 laps, on lap 13 of 17. Just got to keep their cool. He's looking on the inside. Scott did leave the door open a little bit there, and he's got a bit of a run on him now. No, he's tucked off behind. Tugged off behind, I thought I said. Then tucked. Whew. Don't know what I was thinking about. Tucked up behind Scott again. I don't know, I think Jack might be just waiting for that little bit of a mistake, possibly. He's defending well. Scott has took the inside line. Jack's looking for the cutback. He's going to have to go around the outside. Oh, I thought Scott left the door wide open then. Thought the cutback was going to be on them for Jack. But as you can see behind, Cody is actually catching JC. But in turn, there was a bit of a gap formed, I think, between... There's a little bit of a gap, more visible gap now between Scott and Jack. Stu's 1.767 seconds behind, 1.5 seconds in front now on lap 15 of 17. So there will be 2 laps to go after this one. He's just coming down to Paddock Hill. No, he's not. He's done Paddock Hill. That's Graham Hill Bend. Get me corners mixed up now. Scott and Jack are still in this battle. JC and Cody's now in a smaller battle. If Cody can get on the back of JC's Merc, he could be in for a battle there. Mike is there in 6th, followed by Mampster, with Sparky in 8th. Offcut is in 9th. Rathchild has just gone off slightly, bit off road in there, and Hamby 911 is there in 11th. let's just go back to this one. So Scott is still in second place. They're just swinging those Mercs around slightly. See, Cody is now, I don't want to take my eyes off of this, but Cody is, by the looks of it, right on the back of JC now. Oh no, there's a bit of a gap. So we're now coming on to our final lap of the race. Don't want to take my eyes off it. I think Disco Racing Stu has actually got this in the bag with a 1.2 second lead. Scott is there holding back Jack, which has been a terrific race out the front on this second race this evening. It's all been clean, it's all been tidy, it's been great racing. As you can see in the background there quickly, Cody is on the back of JC now. Jack is trying all what he can. Stu is just, he just can't get past Stu. He's making it big. So Disco Racing Stu is now over the line in first. So there's your winner. It's Disco Racing Stu, followed by Scott, Jack, JC, Mike. Cody's gone backwards across the line and Mamster's just hit him. I don't actually know what he was doing there, but Mamster was in 7th. Sparky is in 8th. 9th was Offcut. 11th was Rathchild, and Hanby is now just about to come off over the line in 11th. Well, Scott's just come on to the chat there, and yeah, what pressure. It looked absolutely amazing from the stream. Just couldn't take my eyes off of it, couldn't take it away. But that was some clean racing from all the guys tonight. Not too sure what Cody was doing, reversing back across the line. Don't know if it was necessary, because I think he lost it coming out onto the Brabham straight, and I think he just slammed it in reversed, to be fair. But anyway, next week we will be back. We'll be at Silverstone next week. We are at Silverstone National, I do believe. Let me just check the calendar. Yeah, we're at Silverstone National next week, which will be interesting because it will be a 15-lap qualifying with a 20-lap race 1, a 16-lap for race 2, but it'll be heavy rain for qualifying and heavy rain for race 1 and medium cloud for race 2. So it could stir the racing up a little bit, which will be all great fun to watch on the stream. So from me, Greener Army 2009, I will catch you all next week. Be safe, have fun, but be safe. See you later, guys.